This is, hold on a second, I'm sorry. This is Anatomy of a T.I. It's the 13th? Wow. It's the 13th of September, 2018. And it is, that clock is 2 minutes fast, so what is it, 48, 46? 9:46, 9:47 a.m. Anyway, I got no sleep last night. I mean, absolutely none. I laid on the bed all night, all morning, and never really fell asleep. Although I have to admit, I didn't really start trying to go to sleep until 3 a.m. I was watching Spider-Man Homecoming. Never saw it before. So, that's part of the problem, probably. You know, I didn't take time to pray, and I should have. Should have read my Bible too. That might have helped relax me a little bit. So I thought part of that is my fault. But, you know, once they felt I was awake, you know, of course they started with the noise campaign. I don't know what time it was. I never looked at the clock. So having this sleep aid on my eyes didn't help one bit. But I'm ready to start another day. I don't want to be a big complainer or anything like that. I guess, you know, I still need to be thankful. You know, some say, well, you're just being human. Sorta not. You know, when you take the word as the word, it says rejoice always. It doesn't say sometimes. It says always. Always. And I have to remember that. Rejoice always. It doesn't matter. Thank God. You know, I didn't get no sleep, but thank God. It has to do with really changing your mindset so that you can really be more in tune with God, number one. But number two, changing your mindset is important, just to let God work within you. Right? So, I thank God I'm up. You know, I can be ready to do what God would have me to do. Face these devils out there. You know, resist the devil and he'll flee. But I will, you know, say they're out there, and they're out there big time. You know, they've been really busy this morning. God gave me a reprieve yesterday, you know, where they had reduced the frequency and intensity of their noise campaign. But today, they've been out there, you know, I was listening to white noise and all that other stuff, so most of what they did was pretty much blocked out. But I can't listen to white noise forever. So this is where I have to rely on God's strength, the internal man, the internal spirit of Holy Spirit, God. I got to draw on that, you know. And I guess you could say, in a way, this is kind of encouragement for those people who might be going through intense noise campaigns. You know, so you can focus on your day, focus on how God is truly blessed. I have to start getting ready. I don't want to get my laundry done. I need to go grocery shopping. What else? Well, those are the two main things. Oh, I gotta finish working on my ex-wife's, my tribute to my ex-wife. I gotta work on that. They're giving me about 10 minutes to speak, you know, about some memories, you know, that I've had over the years. I knew my ex-wife since 1973, and unfortunately, you know, she passed away this year. We were married for 14 years. And the next 30 years after that, 31 years, we spent as being best friends. So, it's strange, right? Couldn't be best friends when we were married, but boy, we were best friends after we divorced. And we laugh and joked about that too. It's so funny. It is. It's funny. Well, it was funny to us. Some people might look at it differently, but it helped us raise our two kids, separate from being married. So that was, you know, that helped. For those of men out there who are divorced or getting separated, well, let's say for instance separated, okay, and you're paying child support, or you will have to pay child support when you're separated soon to get divorced if you can't reconcile. Here's what me and my ex-wife did. We looked at the court system first as far as them taking money out of my paycheck. Neither one of us liked the idea. We didn't. So I found out what the rules were. 20% for one child, 25% for two children. And we worked it out. So I paid her every week, or every paycheck. I can't remember which. But regardless, I made sure that I followed the schedule. Never had to worry about court one day. And that's what friends do. If you can't reconcile the marriage, at least what you do is reconcile some of the legal situations that you run into, because I know how hard it is, for men who have to go through the court system, and how they'll mess you up. Oh, God. I have a friend who's going through that right now. Because he got behind on child payments, they took his driver's license, and I'm thinking to myself, you guys have got to be kidding me. No, 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 no. So when he's ready to go back to work, or when he's looking for work, I shouldn't say ready to go back to work, but when he's looking for work, okay, one of the requirements might be that he needs a job. In Chicago, there's a lot of jobs in the suburb. Some of them, even though I have to admit, the suburban transportation lines have improved, where they have more buses going out to the suburbs to, transport people to companies that are, a great distance away from Chicago. But there's some locations where you need a car. You might have to, if you get off the bus, you still might have to walk a mile before you actually get to the job. So, in that instance, it would be nice to have a car. You go in for an interview, they say you're qualified, and offer your position, only to find out that, that trek would take you 3 hours by public transportation, 6 hours a day. You don't have a life after that. You don't. So, to take the driver's license away from an individual who actually has no problem paying child support, just wants to get a good job, but you're going to take his driver's license? Come on. And hold it hostage? Something wrong with that. There's something really wrong with that. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent. Sorry, you guys. This is all about glorifying God. Doing what I have to do in order to survive this day. Survive this day. So I'm gonna put this up. I make a lot of videos. I have hundreds of videos, and I have thousands of hours by now of video. And you check my channel, you find out that there's very little there. But This particular video, at the preface, you notice I said anatomy of a TI, targeted individual. That's actually a blog that I'm creating. It's going to show how they inducted me into this heinous program from the beginning, as much as I can remember, reconstructing it from the beginning back in May when they first started putting police cars. You can't see it now because they put a fence up, but y'all have to excuse the cheap blinds I got here from Walmart. I'll never buy those again. But anyway, as you can see, I was kept peeling. Every time you peel this back, they break off. So, anyway, did you see the yellow bus go by? Okay, just beyond that fence. Oh, look, they got a friend that just went by. Wow. That's them. They do that whenever I come to the window, and they make sure that they send a car by to keep the anchoring going. But anyway, um, the police car was actually, there was no fence there. The last house at the end of this alley or block, there was no fence there, and the police used to park there, and where the white car is, right there. They wanted to make sure that they were seen all the time. I'm trying to remember if there was a garage there too. I do have some pictures that I took prior, some footage, video footage, for other reasons, that I took. And I think, I don't think there was a garage there. I think they built that garage afterwards. But, I want to start it from the beginning when they started parking. And I didn't understand what was going on, obviously. As most people, I would say probably 99% of the people who are targeted don't understand why they do that. Or, didn't understand. So the police cars are sitting here. What's the point? Why are you always sitting here when I come out? When I look out my back window, well, depending on, I'm speaking for maybe every TI in general who all of a sudden saw police cars perched and, around their residence. And I couldn't, it just wasn't making any sense. Go out the front, same thing. Nexx Level, when he was here, he did a video and he interviewed me for a few minutes with me describing, where they were parked. I actually walked to the location, the parking spots, that they used along Eisenhower Expressway. We call that the Eisenhower. It's the I-290. And, we went around to the front of my apartment building, actually the block or corner where they would also be parked when I walked out the front of the building, and they would be parked there. And I couldn't understand, what's going on. And I would talk to my family when we were sitting out on the back porch, and I would tell them, jokingly, I said, well, if they're investigating me, I don't know what they're investigating me for, because I don't do anything. And I'm serious about that. I don't do anything. My love was for my 4 internet radio stations, and I would, spend most of my time reviewing music, putting music up on the internet for people to stream. Uh, that was it. Every once in a while I might go out to a movie or something like that, but I wasn't. I'm pretty much a homebody, unless I find somebody who likes to get out, you know. But I'm not a party person per se, but I do, if I had somebody who liked to get out, restaurant, movie. I'm still young enough at 67 to actually go to amusement parks. I love them. Well, I shouldn't say I love amusement parks. I love roller coasters. The higher, the faster, the steeper the drop, the better. And, I gotta blame my daddy for that. Seriously, I gotta blame him for that because we had a park here, amusement park in Chicago called Riverview. And my dad loved to take us to Riverview. I don't know how many times we went, but we went quite often. And there were two rides there, I believe. If I have the names right, one was called the Bob's and one was called the Comet. And the Bob's was a wooden roller coaster that basically just went up and down, up and down, up and down. You know, it wasn't like anything they make today. Uh, it was actually rather conservative by today's standards, you know. Because, I mean, they make great wooden roller coasters like the one at Great America in Gurnee in Illinois. I like that one. And that was the first wooden roller coaster. That's the first roller coaster I took my daughter on. And I don't know why I did that. I could have taken her, put her on the wheels first. You know that it's a steel roller coaster, but you know I took her on the highest coaster that they had at the time. You know, because every time we went to Great America, she would say, "Daddy, can I ride that with you?" And you know, she was always under height. She was always under the. So she'll probably kill me for telling y'all this, but uh, when she finally was able to get on the coaster with me, you know, for years going to Great American, and I told her, well, you can't do this time, baby girl, you know, because you're not tall enough. So when I said, guess what? You made it. We went one year, and she actually was above the height level. And I said, you can get on the coaster with me now. I mean, automatically she got tense and scared. She said, really? Yeah, you said you wanted to go. Every year we come down here, you said you wanted to go. So come on, let's go. So, you know, long lines at Great America. I think it took us an hour to get up to the entry point to get on the train. You know, the platform to get on on the train, on the coaster. So, oh, so you know, she gets in and we get in the coaster, and the coaster, and at that time, I had my arm around her, you know, because basically all you have is a seat belt and a rail, you know, the rail bar that they push down for you to hold on to, just a seat belt. It's not like some of the steel roller coasters where you also get a harness, you know, to hold you in. And, you know, first, for those of you who are familiar with the, uh, uh, I forgot what they call it, American something coaster. I forgot. Anyway, the wooden roller coaster at Great America has a nice steep drop, you know, which of course I love. And so anyway, as we're going up, I had my arm around her, and I decided to take my arm from around her and put it on the bar. Do you know she grabbed my arm, put it back around her? So that's the way I had to ride. That's the way I had to ride the roller coaster, you know, the entire ride. Um, you know, she wanted that security, which is so funny. So when we got to the peak, okay, she saw what was below, and her head went down, and her head never came down. I mean, came back up. Well, it did for a moment. When the ride got kind of smooth, and she said, is it okay? Of course it's okay. I mean, you're with Dad, right? But you know, I told her, I said, yeah, it's fine. So, but we had another peak. One of those second peaks that they have, you know, the drop is not as bad as the initial drop, but it was a drop just the same. And her head came up. She saw it, and she said, "Ah!" And her head went back down. It didn't come back up until we got close to the end of the ride. Now she loves roller coasters. She'll go get on a coaster with me, you know, any roller coaster. We went to Cedar Park, and at that time, Cedar Park had 10 roller coasters, and we rode most of them, including, again, I don't remember the coaster's name anymore, because it was quite a while ago, but we went and got on most, and we got on one ride. It was a wooden roller coaster called the Main Streak. They had it all the way back at the end, the back end of the park. There were very few people back there, and we said, "Oh man, this is sweet. There's hardly anybody standing in line for the Main Street." I know why now. Oh my God, they tore it down. Thank God. Oh, Main Street, it was just that. Now, I think they did have a warning up there when they talked about the vibration and stuff like that on the Main Street, but it was specifically designed to destroy your body. I mean, the name Mean Streak, that should have told us something. Because we vowed if we ever went back to Cedar Point, we would never get on that ride again. There was so much vibration. Your body's going back and forth like this. You know, you didn't have time to think about the drops or anything like that, or the turns. You know what I mean? The drops or the turns. You didn't have time because your body was going. So any of you who have went to Cedar Point and got on the Main Street, y'all know what I'm talking about. I usually don't use this kind of phrasing, but it was a hell of a ride. And I mean hell, and literally hell. Not, I'm not saying, oh man, this is, that's a hell of a ride. No, it's a hell of a ride. Ugh. So, anyway, I need to get myself together here. Doing a whole lot of talking and not getting anything done. For Nexx, there's Kitty. So, he's waiting for Nexx to come back. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's been there since Nexx came in here and sat in that chair for 2 weeks, and Kitty was always, up in Nexx's face. Always. Always. He was in Nexx's face more than mine. He started favoring Nexx over me. The first day. I started to get jealous. Okay. It's like, okay, Nexx, I got you, buddy. Alright, this is what you do. You hijack people's pets. It's not my cat. It's my nephew's cat. But, Kitty would, favor me because I would let him out and, make sure he had food and water and stuff. And, we were buddies. Then Nexx came along. Yeah. It was like over. First day. When Kitty wanted to go out after the first day, after he met Nexx, we could both be in the same room, this kitchen, and Kitty want to go outside. And guess what? He would favor Nexx over me. I've been letting him out the back door for the last 7 years. And Nexx come along one day. Love you, Nexx. Man, it was great having you here. Regardless of the fact that you hijacked Kitty, man, it was great having you. We had good times, good laughs, it was great. It was great. All right, y'all. I gotta get some stuff done. Peace.